I once dreamed a stranger pressed a handful of folded coins into my palm, and before I could even finish describing the dream out loud, my grandmother was already sweeping ash across our doorway, insisting that money in sleep is never really about money. Today, I want to unpack what it actually means when someone hands you money in a dream. Not the quick, one-size-fits-all internet answer, but the older, stranger readings passed down through hands like my grandmother's, alongside what modern dream psychology suggests, so you can figure out which version fits your own dream. Where I grew up, no one celebrated a money dream. Not paper bills, not folded notes, and especially not coins. My grandmother used to say that coins carry fingerprints from everyone who has ever touched them, and in sleep, those fingerprints can belong to someone who wishes you weren't doing so well. If a coin appeared in your dream, especially handed to you by someone you couldn't fully see, the household treated it like a warning knock at the door. Some elders in my village linked coins directly to old rituals, the kind used to transfer misfortune from one person to another, quietly through something small and shiny enough to be forgotten. So growing up, waking up with the memory of coins in my palm meant one thing before anything else. Check who's been near you, and be careful what you accept from people, even in your sleep. But in my grandmother's world, coins were treated as worse than paper money, almost in a category of their own. She used to say a coin has touched more palms than anyone can count, and every palm leaves something behind. A debt, a wish, sometimes something darker. In our village, certain rituals used coins on purpose, precisely because they're small enough to slip into a pocket, a doorway, or a plate of food without anyone noticing. People believed a coin could be used to move misfortune from one person onto another, almost like handing off something you no longer want to carry. So when a coin showed up in a dream, especially one pressed into your hand by someone you didn't recognize, it wasn't read as luck at all. It was read as a question. What has this coin already carried, and why has it been passed to you? Now, if you grew up somewhere else, you might have heard the complete opposite, that receiving money in a dream signals incoming abundance, a promotion, or good fortune finally catching up to you. I don't think either view is wrong. I think they're both pointing at the same idea from two different angles. Money dreams almost always mark a shift, a transfer, a change in what's flowing toward or away from you. Whether that shift feels like luck or like a warning often depends less on the dream itself and more on the life you're already living when the dream shows up. Now, I'm not here to tell you every money dream is an attack. What my upbringing taught me, even without meaning to, is that dream money is rarely about the money itself. It's about what's being transferred between two people. In sleep, currency often stands in for something less countable: attention, obligation, energy, even guilt. When someone hands you money in a dream, your mind may be showing you an exchange happening in waking life that you haven't fully named yet. A favor with strings attached, a relationship where you feel like you owe someone something, or the opposite, someone quietly indebted to you. The coin or the note is just the symbol your sleeping brain reached for because, culturally, we already understand money as a marker of value and power. The identity of the giver changes the entire reading, so pay attention to that detail before you decide what the dream means. If it's a stranger, the dream may be pointing to an outside influence entering your life, an opportunity or an obligation you didn't ask for. If it's someone you know, especially someone with more power or authority over you, the dream might be surfacing a debt that isn't financial at all. Perhaps you feel like you owe them loyalty, silence, or gratitude you never agreed to. And if the person giving you money has passed away, many traditions, including the one I was raised in, read that very differently, again, often as a message rather than a warning, something closer to a blessing being passed down rather than a burden being placed on you. Picture this. You dream that your boss slides an envelope of cash across the desk, no explanation given, just a quiet nod. You wake up unsettled, even though nothing bad happened in the dream itself. That unease isn't random. Dreams like this often surface right before a real decision, a job offer, a favor someone's about to ask you for, or a situation where accepting something means agreeing to terms you haven't fully heard yet. Or maybe it's smaller. An old friend presses a few coins into your hand at a market stall you don't recognize. That kind of dream tends to point inward toward a relationship where you feel like you're being quietly repaid or quietly recruited for something you can't quite name yet. Here's something rarely mentioned. The feeling inside the dream often matters more than the money itself. If you felt uneasy, reluctant, or like you wanted to refuse the money but couldn't, that discomfort is worth sitting with when you wake up. Your intuition may already be resisting something your waking mind hasn't caught up to. But if you felt calm, even grateful, receiving that money, the dream could simply be reflecting a season of support entering your life, people showing up for you in ways you haven't fully acknowledged yet. I've learned, even outside the warnings I grew up with, that the emotional residue of a dream is often more honest than the symbol itself. So tell me in the comments, who gave you the money in your dream? A stranger, a relative, someone you haven't spoken to in years? I read these, and the pattern in the comments section is honestly its own kind of fascinating. If a dream like this lingers with you, resist the urge to treat it as fortune-telling in either direction. It isn't a guaranteed windfall, and it isn't a guaranteed curse either. Instead, sit with a plainer question. Where in my life am I receiving something I didn't fully ask for? Where do I feel indebted? And where do I feel quietly owed? You might also notice who you told the dream to first, the way I told my grandmother, because sometimes the reaction a dream gets from the people around us reveals just as much as the dream itself. I still don't pick up loose coins I find on the ground, not because I'm certain they're cursed, but because my grandmother's caution taught me to notice what I'm accepting from the world, whether I'm asleep or wide awake. If this gave you a new way to look at your own dream, subscribe for more grounded, culturally honest breakdowns of the signs most channels only explain one flat way. And tell me below, who handed you the money, and did it feel like a gift or a warning?